Oh, real.
Shout out to Michael. That's a fact, that's a fact. I'm on one. I'm on one. I'm really on one. That's a fact, that's a fact. I'm on one. I'm on one. I'm really on one. I'm on one. I'm really on one. That's a fact, that's a fact. I'm on one. I'm on one. I'm really on one. That's a fact, that's a fact. I'm really on one. Rodney, Colorado, old school caddy, say Billy, yeah, great smoke. I look so clean, I look so smooth, my glasses white globes. I ride with straps, seat belts, the butt of that joke. Talking shit, my squad's been a best man, and send the cap on spokes. That's a fact, that's a fact. Face fact. Walking over Colorado, hip hop, right the doormat. They said my time was limited, but I chose to adore that. After you haters, no more chat with me, but you can't afford that. That's a fact, that's a fact. You face blank, getting the rear view like the rest of them and fall back. You just a piece of the puzzle, me, I'm really all that. You want it, come and get it, snitch boy. Just remember I fall back. You know what they call that real key shit, you wanna try me. I don't want error from the text to the toe or grind me. Switch out from my fucker record, yo, get up here behind me. Mike was sitting on shot for record, yo, black trees on the side me. That's a fact, that's a fact. I'm on one. I'm on one. I'm really on one. That's a fact, that's a fact. I'm on one. I'm on one. I'm really on one. I'm on one. I'm really on one. That's a fact, that's a fact. I'm on one. I'm on one. I'm really on one. That's a fact, that's a fact. I'm really on one. I check my eyes on the prize, you still waiting on my demise. On my team in the skies, that's that shit that I despise. Virgin Mary, bloody eyes, you come with me on my rise. Trying to tap that my close boy, no different than them other guys. No surprise, you ain't the first to hold or die. I've been this long since I opened my eyes. You think five or SWAT, now say goodbye. First you get out for the fire, you born to hate, you born to die. Hate on me, I don't see why. Envy me, I wouldn't mind. I'm just a normal guy that says things I really find on. I got fans that can even go to Colorado. You know they love me in New York and on the island, bro. I stuck my dick in the game and fuck the shit out that hoe. That's a fact, that's a fact. Believe that. You niggas whack, you need to see that. That's a fact, that's a fact. Believe that. You niggas trash, you need to see that. Oh, that's a fact, that's a fact. I'm on one. I'm on one. I'm really on one. That's a fact, that's a fact. I'm on one. I'm on one. I'm really on one. I'm on one. I'm really on one. That's a fact, that's a fact. I'm on one. I'm on one. I'm really on one. That's a fact, that's a fact. I'm really on one. They don't want none of TP, don't want none of RE, don't want none of E. Because they don't want it, you don't want it, he don't want it, she don't want it, yeah. I'm going hard in this shit, they don't want it, you don't want it, he don't want it, she don't want it, yeah. I can be real in this air. They don't want it, you don't want it, he don't want it, she don't want it, yeah. I'm going hard in this bitch. They don't want it, you don't want it, he don't want it, she don't want it, yeah. I can be real in this. Trey can't keep it, no, real. Bitches lucky Rick kept my solo shit locked in the cellar. Don't got the lock the door, now Rick's that loose killer. Only about three things, cash, money, or thriller. That's no spiller. with a new ass head. So no, they don't want it. And yes, I am the shit. Take a whiff of success, motherfucker. You wouldn't notice the stairs. Come on, jabroni, I'm a rock, no time for pebbles. And any artist, my delivery on a whole nother level. How I hit breaks, now face and harmonize with the treble. As they get strong, so I'll rock out like a southern rebel. You don't want none of me. I mean, seriously, be realistic before someone's feelings get hurt. Or I take your chick real quick and smash what's in that skirt. Or I make you disappear, take a ride in a herd. They don't want it, you don't want it, he don't want it, she don't want it, yeah. I'm going hard in this bed. They don't want it, you don't want it, he don't want it, she don't want it, yeah. I can't be realer than this. They don't want it, you don't want it, he don't want it, she don't want it, yeah. I'm going hard in this bed. They don't want it, you don't want it, he don't want it, she don't want it, yeah. I can't be realer than this. Heard someone call me a young ass Dre. Why? Because I left up in the pad and I've been locked away. Or because I let this white lyrical psychopath spray. I follow Dre's business model, let's go get paid. Until my grave don't get that fucked up. I got skills where I have you bastards locked up. That bitch you with got your wallet, yeah, she's stuck up. She see the king, bet my royal agents getting sucked up. But I can't be realer than that. These skills are elementary shit, I get kept in the set. Or call Poppy off like you know my man only sex. I wrote this shit in this, but would you imagine if I was dead? You don't want none of me. I mean, seriously, you're mad because I won't guest spit on your garbage shit. Fix any rapper's problems with a track real quick. Catch it first in the Puerto Rican producer hit. They don't want it, don't want it, you don't want it, don't want it, he don't want it. Don't want it, he don't really want it, they don't really want it, they don't want it, don't want it, you don't want it, don't want it, he don't want it, don't want it, he don't really want it, they don't really want it, they don't want it, you don't want it, he don't want it, she don't want it, yeah. I'm going hard in this shit, they don't want it, you don't want it, he don't want it, she don't want it, yeah. I can't be realer than this. They don't want it, you don't want it, he don't want it, she don't want it, yeah. I'm going hard in this bed. They don't want it, you don't want it, he don't want it, she don't want it, yeah. I can't be realer than this. They don't want none of me, you don't want none of R.E. Don't want none of me, you don't want none of me. They don't want none of me, you don't want none of R.E. Don't want none of me, you don't want none of me. Yeah, yeah, boy, and we are live. Oh yeah, it's High Tide Stick. You are live with the Doc MistaTre, and our special guest today in the studio is cousin.
He's so funny.
Big cousin. This is Big Cousin. She asked me yesterday, she said, I want to be on your radio show. I was like, come with it. Be prepared to talk pot. We should have Chris Watkins on the phone soon. And of course, our Michigan Insider. We're going to have topics, stories, weed stuff. I'm pretty blown right now.
Me too.
Me too. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty high right now. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. Like, talk about scoring some dick.
Man, talking about like we can't run out.
I don't commit felonies that are felonies in Colorado. Now, on the other hand, in Florida, that's another story. We have, this is the honey badger pipe. We call it the honey badger because it's little, but it'll kick your ass. Kind of like Tyrone Matthew from Arizona Cardinals, the real honey badger.
It's the boat on the go.
Dang, even with your seat higher than mine, you're still short. It's my butt, though. My butt lifts me up off the chair. I do have a big butt. I got the ass in our family. Just saying. So anyway, it's F off Friday, which on the show means we pretty much just, well, F off. We do what we want to do. This is going to be weird trying to do this left-handed. I don't know if I can do that.
Oh, damn.
I can't do it.
Else?
No,
it's fine. I just can't do it left-handed. I'm computer retarded. Seriously,
Do you
I'm
need
not
to
left.
move that?
No. You're fine. You're fine.
Oh shit!
I just
Where
have
are
to.
we?
I have to find the topics. There we go.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it helps if you save the link.
Bob Marley. Way to go.
I love Bob Marley. Oh yeah. Oh, that's my my Google setup here. I can show the fans this stuff. It's pretty cool. So this is my Google I guess you'd call it backdrop or screen drop or whatever. For if you're just listening, you know, you're not missing much. But if you're watching, it is pretty cool. So this is what it is. It's got Bob Marley. You know, I love Bob. Everybody who knows me knows I love Bob.
Who doesn't?
I don't think I've never met. I'm gonna be real with you. I don't think I've ever met anyone who doesn't like Bob Marley.
Yeah, me
truth
neither.
be told. So I'm like, you got a good point. Who doesn't like Bob? If you don't like Bob, you're a dick.
Yeah, you're
so
an ass.
Our topics today are DEA chief admits pot has great promise as medicine.
Oh shit.
Montana seeks a court ruling to end medical marijuana sales. Interesting.
Oh, nice.
And of course, Colorado County bullish on pot starts new weed scholarship.
Wow, nice.
You know, I haven't read this story, so I wonder what county that is. And then, of course, from yesterday, we never got to it, but I'd really love to get to this topic right out of the gate, and that's Mexico. High Court upholds individual rights to cannabis. So basically, they're saying that we'll get into it more in depth and we'll read the story, but they're basically saying, like, the court saying you have a right to weed in Mexico. Sanders submits Senate bill to end federal prohibition. A lot of people don't think that he's going to be able to get this done, but I kind of agree that it's one of those things where I go, I don't know if he can uphold or hold up his promise to end prohibition as a whole. And we'll get more into it when we get to that topic second today, but I don't know if he's going to end prohibition as a whole. I think that there's some laws in there that may make that very difficult to do, but we're going to get into our stories.
Nice.
Yeah, that's what you do. You do like that. So anyway, for those of you at home, I automatically assume everybody that watches my show is at home and lazy, and that's not even true because I have friends that when they do watch, whether it's on demand later or then,
at work too.
They do watch it at work. Funny enough, but anyway, so our first topic, of course, takes us around the globe, spinning around the globe.
Nice.
You don't have to lean in. I actually have to turn us down when you lean in, to be honest with you. But anyway, but it's like, in a world where Mexican weed is Mexican legal. You like the movie Phone Boys?
Pretty interesting.
I don't know how many people I've told this story to, but when I hit puberty, it was like a snap of a finger. I went to school one day. I was like, bye, Mom. I'll see you later. I came back. I was like, Mom, we're going to get paid because I sound like the movie phone guy. Oh, snap. So anyway, so on to Mexican weed. So here's the story. And then see, your job is to co-facilitate this story, which means I'll read it and then we'll talk about it. You the good news is you really don't need the headphone except for to hear the music, me and Chris when he calls. I should have texted him and told him, like, when you call him, foo. Here, I got you. He liked the thing that said the show's coming on, so I would assume he knows it's coming on. But you never know. So, but this is how you, like, in radio, you can't be wasting much time sending a long text message while you're trying to facilitate a show. So I just wrote live, and hopefully he gets the message like, hey, oh yeah, we're live. I'll call in. Anyway, so here's the deal in Mexico. In a 4-1 decision on November 4th, the criminal chamber of Mexico's Supreme Court of Justice ruled that the prohibition of consumption and cultivation of cannabis for personal use is unconstitutional, voiding 5 articles of the country's principal narcotic statute, the General Health Law. The court found that prohibition of cannabis consumption or of cultivation for non-commercial purposes violates the rights to free development of the personality. Oh, that's actually dope. We're gonna get back to that exact statement. Enshrined in Article 19 of the Mexican Constitution, the landmark decision only applies to the actual plaintiffs who challenged the prohibition provisions of the General Health Law, but gives weight to legalization proposals being prepared in Mexico's Congress. They're nothing this excuse me, let's try it again. They're nodding this case and using it in their favor to present a law that will be in agreement and will protect the people's rights. And that was from Moy Schwartzman, attorney for the plaintiffs, was quoted by the Associated Press. That's not a Mexican person. I'm just saying. Like, legitly, they are not Mexican. So,
No.
what do you think about our Mexico story?
Hmm.
Are you obsessed with looking at yourself?
No.
I am. No, I'm just playing.
Let's take a hit and then we can talk.
Oh, okay. So much like the women in the clubs, I got to get her high just to talk to me. That's messed up, man. Your family. No, I'm just playing. Let's do this.
Hey, it talks, man. It's talking to me.
Yeah. Let's see here. So, by the way, don't forget to follow us on YouTube. Subscribe to us here on YouTube. Follow us on Twitter. Follow us on Instagram, Periscope, all that jazz. It's just at High Tide Stick. And you can follow us and smoke weed with us in the morning and all kinds of funness.
I'm glad that you got it last night. I could never waited for another night.
G14 classified.
Oh, damn shit.
Can't tell them I'm the plug.
Well, anyways, we got some.
Evident, right?
It is what
She's
it
like,
is.
we got weed. I know. Look, we got weed. No, You got a lighter? I don't even have pockets. The lighter's on you, homie.
Oh, damn shit.
All right.
Okay.
Exit stage left. I'm pulling up the next story. Oh, that's actually stage right. I'm sorry. For those of us that do know our left or our right, I'm not one of them apparently. So again, with this Mexico thing, I think it is. It's definitely landmark to the degree of this. I think that the Mexico thing holds weight in a sense of, hey, you have a personal right here in Mexico to consume cannabis. You have the right to do that. And as a person, a part of your personality is apparently it's marijuana. Now, what I worry about is it possible to argue the same thing on cocaine or heroin? Because they said that that it's unconstitutional to stop somebody from taking marijuana because it is part of the development of your personality if you choose to smoke, right? So if that's the case, and that's how, here you go, sorry. If that's the case and that's how it really is, my question then lies in, does that pave the way for or open an opportunity for some Mexican drug dealers, not the dealer themselves, but if you get busted for using cocaine or heroin in Mexico, could that be defined under the same law? Because again, we're not talking about the purchase and sales of large quantities like the cartel does. We're not talking about the purchase and sales of like kilos at a time because you're the neighborhood drug dealer. We're talking about personal bag, let's say under an 8-ball, under a quarter ounce of cocaine. Can you say that, hey, because it was in one bag, as an example, it was in one bag, and so it was for my personal consumption, or do the same thing with heroin? Is that opening the door for that?
No.
I wonder, though, because of the way the law is being argued. The law is being argued is, now, again, it references only cannabis. I want to be clear to the viewer or the listeners that it does only reference. What the hell? I told you that honey badger will jump up and bite your ass. You thought I was playing, didn't you? You thought I was playing, didn't you?
You forgot to clean it out. It's like.
No, I didn't forget to clean it. You got to stop trying to hit everything like your freaking vacuum. Fellas, she hits weed pipes like a Hoover vac. Just saying. Her number is 555. I'm just playing. Like in the movies. Ah, bitch! She's a G, though. My cousin's G. Real shit. My cousin's G.
Did you get some?
Hell yeah, because I don't have a pipe without trying to suck a vacuum through it, motherfucker.
Yeah, I know, right?
What's dinging? Was that your phone?
Yeah.
You're really gonna run off the show to go answer your phone? I ain't mad at you. I'm just giving you a hard time.
I know.
All right. So next up on the docket, I like to treat like court. And so next up on the docket is Bernie Sanders. Now, Bernie Sanders, of course, is probably. Would you consider him the second front runner in the DNC? The Democratic National Committee and Convention, or Democratic National Committee. Bernie Sanders would be like second behind Hillary Clinton for the Democratic presidency or whatever. Okay, so then pause for the God. Sorry. So then with Bernie Sanders, I think that what we're looking at is with him, I think we're looking at a legit. I keep saying a legit. I think what I assume with Sanders is that we're looking at somebody who says, I want to legalize marijuana. He's absolutely pro marijuana. There's no doubt about that.
Oh shit.
Sorry, here. I'm getting my hand out from around the court. I'm over here jerking cords and stuff. But anyway, he's the front runner for the Democratic ticket for the presidency. Most likely could be a potential candidate with Hillary Clinton for the Democratic office. Although I don't know if that would happen. However, when he had kid gloves with her in the during the debate, like he really went easy on her and even said, hey, you know what? Somebody asked about her emails, and then they asked, I think it was him, about how he felt about the emails, and he was like, enough about her freaking emails. Like, I'm tired of talking about her emails. I want to talk politics. I respected him for that. I was like, same thing for me was like with Mike Huckabee and Mark Rubio during the Republican debate. Same thing. I really respected them because they brought it back to policy and stopped trying to just beat on each other. But anyway, because I like, that's great. Beat each other up, talk shit about each other, whatever the case may be. But do me a favor. Also tell me what the fuck you're going to do with the country.
Mm-hmm.
Best co-host ever. She's like, yep, that's gone. That's gone. We gotta.
Oh, he's gone.
We gotta clean up our act before we can smoke anymore.
Oh no, I gotta go to work.
So here's the story on Sanders. Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders has made good on his word to take immediate action against the prohibition of marijuana in the United States by submitting a piece of legislation to the U.S. Senate on Wednesday aimed at bringing down the whole rotten foundation. It's called the Ending Federal Marijuana Prohibition Act. Now, this might be a way to do that. I don't know if that's possible. We'll see. It's a subtle measure designed to remove cannabis from the confines of the Controlled Substance Act so that states are finally able to establish their own rules for legalizing pot without intrusion from the federal government. Written slightly different from a similar trust collecting proposal introduced in the House earlier this year by Representative Jared Paulus of Colorado. Sanders' bill would force the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration, or DEA, to bid farewell to the 4-decade-long wrath against the cannabis plant rather than simply transferring the agency's authority to the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms and Explosives. It's a state and federal issue, Sanders said in a recent interview with CNN. The federal issue is that we should remove marijuana from the Controlled Substance Act. That's a federal decision. The state's decision is that we live in a federal system of government where issues like tobacco and alcohol are significantly regulated by the states. And I think is a province for the states. So Sanders essentially says, hey, I want to take it off the scheduled listing period because it's a plant and not a drug per se in this, and sort of his thinking of what he's saying. And then he's saying, and then leave it up to the states on how to regulate it. So like, in some states back in the day, you could be like 18 or 19 to drink, but in other states you had to be 21, right? And then in some states, you could buy cigarettes at like 16, and in other states you could buy 20. This is before, there's a lot of stiffer rules in place.
Back in the 80s.
Yeah, but so the point is that this is kind of similar to that. He's saying like, hey, listen, we're not going to make it illegal to possess, cultivate, grow, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We're simply going to say that it's not a controlled substance. Now, each state can put in their own individual bylaws on the plant, but I would assume that would also protect us from the states making any laws that prohibit it. You might be able to prohibit it for a certain age group. You might be able to prohibit it for this and that, but you're not going to be able to run like dry counties like they do in alcohol. I hope not.
I think, the only crime I've ever seen with marijuana was people selling it. Not like, like with alcohol. People,
well, in theory, that's not a crime. In theory, if this plant's not Scheduled 1, it wouldn't be a crime.
Alcohol, it actually.
Alcohol's a drug. Nobody's going to jail for selling that.
Yeah, people go to jail for drinking alcohol because they get too wasted and can't control themselves. They kill people. Marijuana, don't.
This is true. People kill people. Well, and that's like you saw the PSA little commercial thing I did that's on MistaTre's face or
Because it's by their choice.
MistaTre's YouTube page, guys. And it's in the commercial. I'm walking past a graveyard, and the graveyard's behind or is in the video shot. I'm kind of walking off to the side with a handheld camera, and I'm like, do you know how many people are in this graveyard for? And I was going through different things like heroin and alcohol and killed by a drunk driver and stuff like that. And at the end, I'm like, there's some captioning that goes on through it. It's like, do you? And then at the end, I'm like, it's like, I bet you don't. It's like, I bet you don't. I bet you don't know. And then I turn the camera to me and it says, and I say, what do I say on that one? Oh, neither do I. But not one grave in this graveyard or something like that. I say, it's not one grave in this graveyard is there because of marijuana. And then it just takes the camera away from me. I like the PSA that I did. I like it. I think it's brilliant, especially coming into the new election. There's such a stigma about weed out there. Like people think that weed is bad. And because of that stigma, I want people to understand that weed is good. If you're going to vilify marijuana the way you have or do, and I see some of you out there in bars drinking. I see some of you out there, at parties having a beer. If you're going to vilify marijuana, I want you to remember. I want you to remember to vilify. That's because she turns into like a do-rag Tupac gangster whenever she ain't high. It's not good. Like she starts set tripping and everything.
It keeps me calm.
Yes, we have. I have to give my cousin her medicine. Oh my God.
It eats my mind.
Excuse me.
So it eats my body.
Well, I think that's a lot of the brilliant things is like yesterday. So the story goes like this, and this is all I'm going to share with you guys, is that I wanted to, I was going to wait until today to go pick up a said medicational type product that, and anyway, so long story short, but I felt like kind of out of whack. Like something didn't feel right. Like my chemistry was off. And I don't know if it's like, that I didn't eat right or that I wasn't hydrated right or something, but I just didn't feel right. And I told her, I said, I don't feel right. And then once I went and I got my medicine.
Yeah, I
felt fine.
I've been there before.
And like, that's messed up that you vilify something, but you'll give me Prozac or something. And I'm like, or Zoloft they gave me. And I'm like, really,
I have like days like those,
that like, stuff made me feel weird.
What's that?
That was Zoloft? Weird, man. I felt weird.
I would never. Pills, they just make you feel different. Like the first. Oh, really? Oh, nice.
Yeah. So anyway, so continue. I'm sorry.
What was
You're just supposed to keep talking and listen to me at the same time. You don't multitask well, do you?
I can sometimes.
But she'll stare down some dirt when she's cleaning, like Clint Eastwood and Dirty Harry, like.
And then I take
when she pulls out her guns of ammonia and Windex and bleach.
I'll start cleaning the house, and then I have to take a break and then smoke a little bit and then go back to cleaning.
You're still crazy though.
Yeah.
She frightens me when she's like gets in cleaning mode. I'm like, oh God.
Yeah.
I just like look for stuff to start picking up. I'm like, what can I do to look busy? It's kind of like real work when your boss gets there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I hate dirty house. I can't get comfortable.
You can't get comfortable?
No.
That's interesting. Well, we're going to go to a quick music break. And of course, after the break, when we get back, we're going to continue on with this, with the next story, of course, about Colorado County being bullish with what they're doing. And then, of course, the Montana court seeks to mess with weed. So we're going to find out why. And then if we have time to get to it, the DEA chief admits that pot has benefits and uses. And that's, it's pretty serious when you talk about undermining what you're doing. We'll be right back after the break. You're on High Tide. Stick with the Doc MistaTre and kill.
got it. Ooh, you know you got it. Girl, you know you got it. 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 Darren and Terrell reach out to the door. Ladies to the left, to the right, bad chicks on the floor. This one tasty, that one danger. I'll take your white chick, sexy chocolate and Asia. Let's tell them, pulling back, that's my major. Retro day, you feel this rooster before the damn pager. What's in my name is chastity, I'm a real player. You the baby girl, she ain't deep, I don't care. I mean, can you blame me, blame it? She said 10 balls, 60, please don't save me. I told you young, sexy, brown, and nice eyes, baby. Good Lord, somebody gonna need to save it. So I see go to toe tap from over here, and she got it, and that's what things completely clear. I said I like guys, she said they call me Kitty. I like this like Mr. Trey, by the way, my real name's Woody. She got it. Ooh, you know you got it. Girl, you know you got it. You got it. You got it. You got it. Ooh, you know you got it. Girl, you know you got it. 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 You got it.
Shabu, ladies really like to party. On the main stage, no clothes on her body. Swing around the whole body, grinding so naughty. Dives in the flow, makes it bang like a shot. Smoke, keep throwing it, I'ma catch a Jerry shot. Feel it in my ear with my dickies on a stop. Tell me, can I drive it? I'm a king of the rock. Boom, shit, I fake, shake. Are you ready? Shake, body to the face. No way, got me shake. Silly, got me shake. Stop shaking for that big sex. Just a club is never big. Come and spit your brain. Tell Leslie what you drink. Go back a house. Nobody can waste it. Begging for some dating. Keep my pockets stinking. I'm jumping here like.
You know you got it. Girl, you know you got it. You got it. You got it. You got it. Ooh, you know you got it. Girl, you know you got it. You got it. You got it. You got it. Girl, you got it. This is everything is kind of bad, girl. You know, let me somewhere you go. Bad girl, bad girl, bad girl. Watch me through the money, watch how low you go. Bad girl, bad girl, bad girl, bad girl. You said bad girl. On the real though, I wanna leave what you know. Money ain't a thing, as long as we do our thing. Can't help but to think of you when I go. Stars to go. You say you a freak, but always see the bad shit. Back is harder, should it gets better. I can take you to a different level. Your people might not agree with you for a journey. You gotta do what you gotta do, so I'm like whatever. I can make your body brush, yeah. I can even take you higher.
In the house, and of course now we've got some interesting stuff going on here because we got my boy here on the phone, Bay City, Michigan's own.
What up?
What up, son? What are you doing?
Oh, cold day in Michigan.
It's cold there.
Oh yeah.
You know, I will say one thing, it was actually fairly chilly here last night.
Yeah, you might get a little more chilly in the next day or so.
Rain related, I think.
Yeah. Well, we got that cold front that's pushed through here, finally.
Yeah. So now that's the thing about November is even if you can slide through October and have a decent October in November, you're effed.
Yeah.
You're effed.
Yeah. It's coming, whether you want it to or not. It's coming.
Right.
I mean, it's back down to normal temperatures. 45, 50.
That's cold.
For you, yeah.
I'm just like, that's cold. That's, I mean, not just in general, but just in my blood. Like that to me is actually really cold. Like like I said, I grew up in Arizona and overseas. I kind of lived everywhere, but the climate that was the most acclimated to me was probably Arizona's heat.
Right. The dry.
Oh yeah. Don't even say nothing dumb because I'll clown you. I promise you. Everybody always says that.
No,
the dry heat. I'm like, I will turn on my oven to 500 degrees and stick your fucking face 5 inches from it, and I'll show you what Arizona feels like in the summer.
I don't mind Arizona summer though.
Me neither, but I'm just saying it's like getting hit in the face with hot air.
Oh yeah. There ain't no
it.
cool wind blowing nowhere, not even in the shade.
Exactly.
Here in
That's
Florida,
my problem.
It does.
You could bake bread outside almost.
we used to fry eggs on the blacktop out there, and we used to fry eggs on like the little electric boxes and shit like that.
Oh yeah.
When we were kids, and we used to race across the blacktop barefoot to see who was really the fastest in the neighborhood, stuff like that. Because in barefoot,
yeah,
I'll tell you what, barefoot black. Yeah, I'm telling you, bro. Like when people see that first step and see how quick my first step is, you want to learn how to get a quick first step. Go to Arizona, race barefoot on the blacktop. Bitch, your feet will be moving. Because you don't want them on the blacktop. You running as fast as you possibly can because you don't fucking want them on the blacktop. You're like, no, this is not happening.
And call you Tink Tink.
Son. But I even like I raced a bunch of people from what's the name of that tattoo shop? Oh damn it.
Is that why all those people from Africa run all these marathons so well?
No, that's from village to village information trading and everything. And that's actually like Kenya and Ethiopia and stuff. They really do like run like village to village. So it's like in their blood, like everybody's a runner. Right. It's like one of those things where it's like almost genetic.
Fucking lions.
Where's that taken at?
That was actually taken. She's commenting about my Facebook page here, or excuse me, High Tide 6 Facebook page. She's like, where does that the backdrop come from? And I was like, that was in Colorado Springs, actually down in Security and Whitefield, where my grandparents used to live and where Aunt Sandy used to live. Oh. And that's right down the street from Dick's Circle, where my grandparents had the house before they moved over to the other side of Security. But anyway, long story short, Easy Street is the street. And so I was like, when I was walking by it one day, I was like, I got to get a picture. And it's ironic that I moved because I got the picture right before I moved. But anyway, so what have you been up to, my friend?
Oh, working with the old girls,
Right.
Since 4 o'clock this morning.
You've been working on vehicles since 4 o'clock this morning?
No, plants, man.
Oh, your girls, your ladies, your chica bonitas.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Those girls.
That's interesting. See, I can't wait, man. We got to get stuff straight here because I want to grow, man. Like I love growing. I miss growing. This one over here is like, I can't wait till you start growing. I'm telling you, bro, I'm legendary, man. I'm good at it. That's all it is. That's nothing to do with pot, to be honest with you. I'm actually just really, really good at growing weed.
Yeah, we go on a panic mode when we run out.
We do. When we run out, we're like, oh dear God, somebody has to die.
We even got it. Oh.
Go ahead, you're fine. He can hear you.
Oh, hi.
Yeah, I can hear her. She's like, really?
Oh, by the way, Chris, this is
Hi,
cousin
Chris.
Kel. This is Chris Watkins, my Bay City, Michigan insider. And also my buddy, man. Like he used to listen to my show from Colorado, and then we just became friends. It's cool. That's the kind of person I am. Like I've never let what I'm doing like consume my personality. So I'm like, I don't care if I met you because at one moment, just a pinch moment in my life, I had a bit of celebrityism, right? And that's when I met you. I don't care. Like relationships last a lifetime. Celebrity, that shit comes and goes.
I believe that you have to be true to yourself.
That's what it is. Like I tell people all the time, is like I play an arrogant prick in public because I'm a rapper, and I won't lie, that's part of the gig. But the truth is, I'm actually very humble.
Hey, you know.
I'm just not quiet. So people mistake my excitement and my ADD for me being arrogant. And I'm like, no, nigga, I'm humble as shit.
Right.
I just can't stop bouncing off the walls because I'm like a meth baby. My mom did not do meth, just for the record. I'm just saying I'm like a meth baby. I'm ADD'd the fuck out, and I can't sit still. But I was a good baby. I didn't scream like meth babies. That's actually a tragedy. People do that with a child in them.
You and your sisters. Margaret was.
We were good kids. Jessica was the crier. My little sister, go figure, the little sister was the little crybaby.
The older sister, she tried to test me.
The older sister thought she was ride or die, though. Like Margaret would have tried to fight you guys. I'm telling you, she got by you guys back then because you were a lot older than us. She would have, she'd have got her ass whipped. But Margaret was actually G back then. And then I don't know, something changed because anytime any girl messed with me, I was just like, you do realize that Margaret's my sister, and everybody thought we were twins because we're only 10 months apart and we're in the same grade. So everybody always thought we were twins. So I was like, that's my big sister. Like, she'll smash you if you mess with me.
I think we're all like that.
Yeah, that's that family code.
We always fought, but boy, oh boy, we always had each other's back.
How many brothers and sisters do you have, Chris?
It's funny how that works. How many? I have a sister.
You have a sister? Is she older or younger than you?
Younger.
Okay, so you used to beat her up. Okay, fair enough. That conversation ended. I'm like, my little sister. See, I had an older sister that was a year older, and I had a younger sister that was a year younger. We were like bam, bam, bam in a row like that. Like my older sister, like I said, she's not even an actual full.
I got my ass in trouble. I got my ass in trouble one year because she was being a normal sister, going in my room and getting in my shit. Well, I booby trapped a couple of my drawers, and needless to say, I broke 2 of her fingers with a rat trap.
Oh man, you was in trouble, huh?
Tina and Sean was like that. They threw each other through the windows.
My ass ain't never been that red.
You know what's funny is I guess I'm over here shocked that happened, but she's right. Her older sister threw her brother through a window, if I remember right. The story,
and he threw her through a door.
And he threw her through a door.
Yeah, they fought like really bad.
My older sister chased me down the street with a handful of knives, not a knife, but a handful of knives.
I let them do their thing, and
from the butcher block.
My bedroom. I'm like, damn.
Literally,
I just figured if my mom couldn't catch her doing it, I was.
Well, and here's the worst one. Here's the worst one too. Like my cousin Chuck, which is he's the youngest of 3 boys. He used to body slam him. See, we're raw, bro. She's like, I used to body slam that little chump.
Yeah. I was pretty much one of the boys.
This fool, like, we were playing Mortal Kombat. I forget what it was, but for whatever reason, I had the choice of character. I don't remember how we used to decide that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if it was like winner picks their character first or loser gets to pick their character first. But either way, oh no, it was loser picks their character, and he had won against whoever played before me. So I was the new person, and he was killing everybody's ass with katana, right? So remember when Katana first came on Mortal Kombat? I think it was Mortal Kombat 3. Might have been 2, but I think it was 3 on the Sega Genesis. But anyway, so I get Katana. Sorry. I get Katana. He's like, don't pick her. And I'm like, shut up, I'll pick her up. Oh, we were boys. I'll pick her the fuck I want, fool. So I picked her. This fool threw a corkboard dart into my leg over it. Yeah, dog. Like, we was raw. Like, one time, me and my cousin Tim literally wrestled on like loose gravel pavement combined road in the projects for like 2 hours. When we stopped fighting, we had forgot what the hell we were mad at. And here's the best part: to this day, I have no fucking clue what that fight was over. But I just know he was like trying to talk some head to me, and I was like, you ain't gonna keep talking to me no type of way, bruh. And then we went at it. And then, like, we used to have boxing gloves. We had a set of boxing gloves that was my older cousin Derek's, and that he gave to me, and we'd put them on, and it was on and cracking.
We used to torment Chucky.
Well, that's because he was a little twerp back then.
That's
what they did to me. You guys basically raised a sociopath to torment me.
We like threw him out in the.
I was the littlest, Chris, by the way.
We threw him out in the snow.
Oh, you were the runt.
Yeah, I'm not the youngest, but I was the runt growing up. But here's the best part. Do you want to know where vengeance is mine? I'm like literally like a 1/4 of an inch to an 1/8 of an inch taller than the tallest cousin.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, ha! Look who hit a growth spurt.
Yeah.
Hey, did you happen to see any
cousin now? That's funny.
Did you have to see on the news this thing where the government's paying professional teams to have like ceremonies and stuff?
What do you mean?
like the U.S. Army will pay like the New York Mets to give medals to these 5 soldiers on their field, or let them throw an opening ball out or whatever.
That's cool.
The government's paying.
I think
the government's paying for that.
Huh.
But you know, at the same time, not to take it, you know, too far out of context, but I kind of
that's
look
our
at
defense money they're burning.
But dude, they have so much pork fat. There's so much stuff in there that they like their procreations and stuff. But I look at it like this: if you're gonna have the procreation, at least you're using it for a good cause to recognize some heroes of our country. And some guys who, you know, put themselves and sacrificed their whatever they could have been, you know what I'm saying? They sacrificed that to go over there, and then they not only went over there but fought valiantly or with valor, and should be really honestly awarded on the biggest stage, rather than handing somebody a big giant metal football, you know, in front of millions and billions of viewers. That should really legitimately be a honest, truthful thing that they do for these guys. Like a big, could you imagine that? Like a big old like Super Bowl, like into the Super Bowl like celebration with all the confetti coming down. That's the kind of like ticker tape parade type stuff that those guys really do deserve, that we just don't do anymore like we used to do back during World War II. And Vietnam ruined that. Wouldn't you agree?
Well, but here they're going after them.
Huh?
The Congress is going after them for spending that money. We're not just talking about pocket change they're giving to these sports leagues. We're talking about
how much?
Big dollar bills, like millions.
Oh shit. Okay, yeah, that's okay. That's a little overkill. I mean, if you want to throw them 10 grand to put like
no,
10
we're talking way more money than that.
I get 10 grand.
Yeah.
Here's 10 grand. We'll fly them in on military flights. That's a little bit more money, but it's not that much. I mean, there's probably a flight that can get them there on a military hop.
So, it don't cost the military nothing.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, other than fuel, that's, you know, I mean, technically taxpayers give, you know, we pay for their fuel with our taxes, but I'll gladly pay to fly a hero to a stadium to get
They put them on a cargo. They put them on a cargo plane going to that city.
Right, and that's exactly what I'm saying. Is I would have no problem with the, you know, with some type of form of money being spent that way. But when you're talking about millions of dollars just for a couple of guys to show up at a stadium, you know, like, damn, that's a lot of Lucci, bro.
Yeah, that's why they're upset. It's not the fact that what they're doing, it's how much they're spending on doing it.
Right. So I have a story for you, and it's out of Colorado, so it's kind of nice. But Colorado County bullish on pot starts new weeds. Colorado County bullish on pot starts new weed scholarships. So we're gonna find out what county is doing this out in Colorado, because, you know, we love them all. But so, and this of course is coming from Kristen White from the Associated Press, and this was published by the Denver AP. A Colorado county that boasts the world's largest outdoor marijuana farm and has been actively courting the new pot industry has approved the world's first marijuana funded college scholarship. And of course, where is it at? None other than Pueblo County voters approved the pot tax like an increase or whatever, or a margin by a 20% margin, by the way, on Tuesday, back when they were voting. The 5% excise tax on marijuana growers is expected to raise about $3.5 million a year by 2020. With the money available for any high school senior in the county who attends one of 2 public colleges in the county, the scholarship awards will depend on how many students apply, but county planners are projecting about 400 students a year will get scholarships of about $1,000 each per year. The awards are the world's first scholarship funded entirely by pot taxes.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, that's what they're. Well, that's not what they're going to use it for here, but that's kind of what they're trying to do here in Michigan. Is because it's not recreational right now. They want to charge all the growers 3% excess tax on your gross income.
Yeah, well, I mean, and I think
it sounds like that's what Colorado is going to do, but they're going to use it to send some kids to school.
Yeah, well, and
great.
it's a phase tax that also it's a two-phase tax that also basically is going to compensate at some point for a slight increase of inflation. It says that Pueblo's booming pot industry didn't oppose the measure, which brings their tax rate to 15% from 15% to 20%. Phased over 5 years, so it's not going to just be a one quick 5% jump, and all of a sudden you see like 5 cents on the dollar on your pot. You're not going to see a 50-cent increase on a dime bag, not yet.
Right. No.
But anyway.
No, it'll be over time.
Right.
Which is fine, though. You know.
I'm all for it. I mean, if you're
going to
do something good with it.
Absolutely.
Well, I mean, look at this. They'll be having college bills paid by a product that is not supposed to. They're not supposed to touch until they're 21, and I find that interesting because. Well, I mean, doesn't Budweiser donate money to college funds? I don't think you can have a liquor fund in your name like that. I think there's some rules against that shit. But there's companies who give scholarships like Budweiser, Jack Daniels, all kinds of liquor companies. So despite the fact that you can't consume liquor legitly, let's say, until you're 21 years old, or legally at least until you're 21 years old, and pot is the same way.
They like that money.
Theoretically speaking, this is no different than anything, alcohol or even Big Farm for that matter does.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you got to think about how much money Big Farm donates to like politicians, right? Look how much money Big Farm donates to politicians. So check this out. Politicians give money to scholarships. Is that not somewhere or another money that could be tied back to Big Farm for scholarships just because they're not directly involved?
Right. Absolutely.
And then, there's shell companies and there's, this corporation and that corporation and this, this inked company, that inked company. And the bottom line is those corporations and whatnot are actually usually under one big shell company. And they're usually owned by somebody big, like Big Farm or, big auto or something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. They all got their hands in it somewhere.
Hey, everybody's got their hands in the cookie jar, bro. Don't you know?
Absolutely.
That's what makes America interesting is like people is and the best part for me, I mean, is that if people don't know where the money's coming from, they tend to be
blind to it.
So yeah, I was gonna say substantially blind to where it comes from. Like, how many people don't realize that like how much money Big Farm spends just to stop them from smoking pot, yet they don't necessarily know that and don't have a problem with Big Farm and all that good jazz. I tell people in this industry, Big Farm has lobbied to keep insurance rates and helping the insurance company, all kinds of weird, crazy stuff like that. So for me personally, it upsets me a lot of the times just thinking that, the value that we kind of are setting in place here that, industry is more important than people. Industry is more important than health. Industry is more important than healthcare. And to me, that seems ridiculous.
Right. And if pharma was held to the regulations that marijuana is held to, a lot of people might open their eyes. I mean, you can't see all the commercials that are already on TV. Hey, this medicine's got this side effect and 500 billion other ones and could kill you. But it's okay, you can take it.
Yeah, take this. But hey, here's some pot. Nobody's ever died from pot in the history of man.
No, you don't even OD on it.
You can't OD on pot. No. So like if you do something stupid and kill yourself,
paranoia, maybe.
Pot did not kill you.
And get the munchies.
You're not gonna, but look, you're not gonna have a fucking heart attack on pot over paranoia, because the beauty of paranoia on pot is that you're relaxed paranoid. And it's weird.
Right.
Because you're like,
right.
The cops are coming, man, but I can't get off the couch to run from them.
Been there, done that.
Couch lock.
Oh, I love when I get couch potatoed. I love it. I'm like, oh yeah, couch potato me, bruh.
Yeah.
All right, well, Chris, I'm gonna tell you what. Hold on the phone diligently. We're gonna go to a break real quick, and a short interlude, if you would, and we'll be right back. Okay, Chris?
Yep.
We'll talk about more weed.
More weed when we get back, right here on High Tide Stick with Cal and Chris Watkins, Bay City. Hold on, I'm gonna write something. Quickly. Something that's short.
Is the place clean?
All day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
smoke.
Real shit. Real shit. Real shit.
That's a fact, that's a fact. I'm all one. I'm all one. I'm really all one. That's a fact, that's a fact. I'm all one. I'm all one. I'm really all one. I'm all one. I'm really all one. That's a fact, that's a fact. I'm all one. I'm all one. I'm really all one. That's a fact, that's a fact. I'm really all one. Rodney, Colorado, old school caddy, St. Kelly, get great smoke. I look so clean, I look so smooth, my glasses wide ropes. I ride with straps, seat belts, the blood of that joke. Talking shit, my squad's been a mess, been innocent, the cap on spokes. That's a fact, that's a fact. Face back, walking over Colorado, hip hop like the doormat. They said my time was limited, but I chose to ignore that. After haters, no more chat with me, but you can't afford that. That's a fact, that's a fact. You face plant, getting the real you like the rest of them and all that. You just a piece of the puzzle, me, I'm really all that. You want it, come and get it, snitch boy. Just remember I'm all back. You know what they call that real key shit, you wanna try me. I don't like air, I'm from the text on the toe or grind me. Switch out from the fucker with the yo, get the meter behind me. Mike Watts said no shot for Rick, yo, black trains on the side me. That's a fact, that's a fact. I'm all one. I'm all one. I'm really all one. That's a fact, that's a fact. I'm all one. I'm all one. I'm really all one. I'm all one. I'm really all one. That's a fact, that's a fact. I'm all one. I'm all one. I'm really all one. That's a fact, that's a fact. I'm really all one. I take my eyes on God, you scared, ain't no my demise. On my team in the skies, that's that shit that I despise. Judging everybody's eyes, you come with me on my rise. Turns out that my close boy no different than them other guys. No surprise, you ain't the first to hold or die. I've been this long since I was alive. You think mine was swat, now say goodbye. First you get on 45, you born to hate, you born to die. It's on me, I don't survive. It's me, I would why. I'm just a normal guy that changed things, I really why though. I got that can leave from Denver, Colorado. You know they love me in New York and on the island, bro. I stuck my dick in the game and fuck the shit out that hoe. That's a fact, that's a fact. Believe that. You niggas black, you need to see that. That's a fact, that's a fact. Believe that. You niggas trash, you need to see that. Oh, that's a fact, that's a fact. I'm all one. I'm all one. I'm really all one. That's a fact, that's a fact.
Yeah, we are back in the mother fizzle hizzle. Of course, we got our boy Chris Watkins on the line. Hey, could you hear the music that time?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, I had a ear, like a little earphone thingy, like cupped in my hand, so you could hear it. Just enough to know, like where just to know, like if you hear the music completely stop, it's because I'm about to come back in or whatever. But anyway, the small things in life we do. By the way, I was gonna tell you, like for all you people out there that do actually catch the show and stuff like that, Chris Watkins is gonna be getting a show here. By the way, I am talking to another individual about a show too. Dum dum dum. Do you know who? You got a guess?
Get the heck out. You talking to him again?
No. I'm talking about somebody wants a show on High Tide Stick.
Really?
Yes. Besides you.
Ooh.
Only she's way better looking than you, bro, because you're a dude.
Yeah, well, yeah. It kind of works out like that.
Present Studios.
Oh, present.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
She's like, hey, I was just thinking, how can I get a show? I was like, when you have time to talk to me, we'll talk about it because I can make that happen.
Right. She could do like a cooking spot or something.
I thought about that, funny enough. I was like, Presence, you need to do like an hour-long cooking show. Just whatever you're cooking, you got to pre-cook a finished product of it so they can see it, because I would tell her this, because that way it's like an infomercial. You want to be able to show them the steps along the way, but most things you cook have about 30 to 45 minutes of steps if it's anything worth cooking, right? So the catch is you've only got to fill 15 minutes that aren't steps, and but you need the finished product there, because sometimes something good might take hours to bake.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
I mean, a good weed cake takes like an hour.
Oh yeah.
You know,
because you don't want to kill the cannabinoid.
No, it's not even that you don't want to kill. Oh yeah, how do you do that without killing something? That's why everybody adds.
You gotta cook it lower and slower, bro.
Lower and slower, like in weed brownies and shit.
Yep.
Is that why they're always so gooey?
Yeah.
Really?
You guys are cooked low and slow. Yes.
I want to cry right now. I learned something that matters to me. Why are we always so chewy and gooey?
It's like barbecue, man.
You know what I was thinking though? It's funny though, but when you cook something at a high heat, like a pizza, I know it's from pizza, but when you cook pizza at a high heat, it makes the crust a little stiffer or harder. And when you cook it at a low heat, it's kind of softer and flexible. So the funny thing is I do get that though, that like, because you're not, what it is, you know, baking something is the extraction of moisture. Anyway, it's the evaporation of moisture. You're removing the moisture from the product. So the longer you bake it at, the higher the temperature, the more moisture you remove, until eventually there's no moisture, and then it starts to burn.
Right.
Cooking 101, people. Everybody out there. We're learning how to cook with Chris. Yeah. So anyway.
Chef Boyardee.
Chef Boyardee. What? Oh, you don't even know. Like, I work with chefs right now, and I'm like one of the lead line chefs at my place now. I've kind of moved up the ranks a little bit very quickly. Ha! But so anyway, but long story short though, bro. So like I'm like, and he's like really like interested in this canna food business and industry and stuff. And I wouldn't be surprised to see if he would want to open a canna restaurant if we could. Yeah.
Yeah. Why not?
So check this out. I do have some controversial stuff in the news from High Times Magazine coming from Matt Volz from the Associated Press in Montana. And it said, of course, I always like to share the lead tagline before we get into the story, so people know, you know, kind of what it's about to entail. But it says Montana seeks court ruling to end medical marijuana sales. And I'm very interested in the story. And I'll be honest with you, I try not to read these stories so that I'm getting the information at the same time as my listener. I don't want to I used to
overanalyze.
Well, not just overanalyze, but I used to overdo I think a little bit. I think you can over-prepare. I think that if you know more than your guest, and it's not like, if you know factual knowledge more than your guest, it's probably a bad thing, unless you're like trying to, you know, catch them bullshitting. But most of the time, if you're trying to have an intelligent conversation, you want your guest to lead that conversation with their intelligence. They're the subject matter expert. You are the devil's advocate and the I don't know anything person.
Right.
I think that's why I liked having Leslie, let's be honest, as a co-host, because she actually really knew dick about weed. She knew it got her fucked up though when I took her to dab out, bro. When we had the morning show, man, you should have been there. That's a funny story, but I took her to the speakeasy to do her first dab hit, and I still got video on this phone that I have, the cell phone that I have of her. She's like, dab, blah, blah, dab, blah, 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 blah. And I die. Like, I should post that and tag her. I haven't talked to her in a little while. I should post it. And then tell her, say, hey, go to my Facebook page because you're gonna die. I should. I need to find that. Okay, so goal for today after the show, find the video of Let's Be Honest, my former co-host on Wake and Bake on K-High 1580 in Colorado Springs, the weed station. I need to find that. I got to do their plug. I used to do their plugs too, some of their like drops, you know, but they don't use your drops on your show. They use other people's drops on your show and your drops on other people's show for the image liners.
Yeah.
But anyway, so here's the story. Montana is in the 5th year. Like, oh, by the way, just real quick, that's like what I might have you do is I might have you just do audio clips of like, you're listening to the Doc MistaTre, not a real doctor. This fool thinks he's sexy or something, you know. And I'll do some ones for you that'll be like, this guy grows pot. You might want to listen to him in Michigan. Something stupid. But anyway, we'll figure it out. I usually spend some good time writing really, good, funny stuff. So that way it's because pot's fun and it's comedy.
Catchy.
It's
Yeah.
comedy. You really see a pot story that's like a tearjerker unless it's about a kid on like CNN. Seriously.
Yeah.
But anyway, so
Yeah.
Montana is in the 5th year of excuse me, of a legal fight to severely restrict how medical marijuana is grown and distributed, even as attitudes in the other parts of the nation appear to be shifting towards more tolerance for the drug. Attorneys for the state argue Wednesday before the Montana Supreme Court to lift a judge's injunction that prevents enforcement of a 2011 law that would ban commercial sales of medical marijuana and limit providers of the drug to a maximum of 3 patients. So you know how many providers you have to have then? Seriously, like we would have to have a provider just for me and my cousin and my neighbor. That's 3 people right there. I'm not saying my neighbor smokes pot, by the way. I'm just using him as a number. I promise you I don't know if he does.
Well, yeah.
No, he doesn't.
No?
Well, that's crazy, though. I mean.
Yeah, I did. I asked him. When I'm outside smoking, I'm like, offer it to my neighbors.
You hear this? This is the neighbor you want, Chris. She's like, when I'm outside smoking, I offer shit to my neighbors. Hey, you want to smoke, bro?
Anyway, I know they smoke.
Right? Well, so anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry, Chris.
See, that's the crazy thing. 3 patients per caregiver. That makes no legitimate sense.
It's a little ridiculous.
And then you're gonna, and then because you're gonna need way more caregivers than you're gonna need patients.
Right. Well, and the state also wants to lift District Judge James Reynolds' block of other provisions that ban medical marijuana advertising and an automatic review of doctors who recommend the drug for more than 25 patients. Check this out. I sit back and I go, so you're telling me that if you are in the medical marijuana industry, you couldn't advertise with my station, or we both could be, in some trouble in Montana. That's interesting.
Right, saying that's crazy. I'll send you this link. Marlboro or Philip Morris is trying to package Class M, my fault, cigarettes.
What's Class M?
They're marijuana.
Oh, so hold on. Excuse me. So Philip Morris, which are the people who own Marlboro, if I remember right, or is it Reynolds?
Yes.
No, it is Philip Morris.
Philip Morris.
Okay, who owns Marlboro is in the process of packaging weed cigarettes.
Yep, for Colorado, Washington, Alaska.
So here's my thing. Yep. Here's my thing / question, and that's cool, by the way. You got to send a link. Post that link to High Tide Sticks page. You're an editor on there anyway.
I will.
Okay, absolutely. I'll check it out because that's cool. Because I'm sitting back and I'm thinking like, but hold on. Here's my question. This is the inquiring minds want to know as we come to the last literally 30 seconds, 45 seconds of the show. Inquiring minds want to know this. What color is the box going to be? Because menthol's already got green.
Well, the picture they show is green, but it has an M.
Maybe they'll change it to green, like a lime green, like like that super danky like lemon skunk.
Right. Yeah, puke green.
Ew, no, puke green's not good. I'm talking about like Volkswagen Beetle.
Oh, like the
1908 or 1970s.
Or the old Dodge
green.
Challenger. The old Challenger green.
Yes, yeah, we're talking like the Green Lantern green,
the
like bright ass neon green. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Like that, like almost like the Mountain Dew box, the lighter green on there, the bright green.
Yep.
Oh, no, here you go, the Monster green. Dum dum dum.
Yeah, there we go.
I'm not saying you bite Monster's color because I'm sure they'll have a problem with it. Although Monster could make a killing in the can of drink industry field because you don't even need pot in can of drinks. That's the catch. The can of drinks are made. It's made from a byproduct of it, just like soy would be.
Yeah.
Or a soy version, I should say. But anyway, well, we are done. That is our time today. Any closing remarks, Chris, before we get out of here? 15 seconds. That's all you get. I'm Donald Trump, you.
Closing remarks. Free the weed.
Kelly?
I totally agreed.
Kelly, you can't steal his remarks. You have to come up with your own.
I want weed.
Oh my God. And that's how you kill
I'll share with you, honey.
That's funny. That is how you hear, Chris. I'll share with you. And that is absolutely how you kill the show. Oh my God. That was great. We're going to get out of here. Chris, talk to you later, man. We'll see you after the weekend. You have a good weekend, bro.
Bye.
You too. Bye.
This is a Rocky Mountain King's Praise on Dutch. We got DHTMM.
I stay strong. I stay strong. I ain't out here for my grind for nothing. Gotta go get it, go get it, go.
I go harder than the motherfucker.
I stay strong. I stay strong. I ain't out here for my grind for nothing. Gotta go get it, go get it, go.
I go harder than the motherfucker.
Texas, motherfucking ballin'. I done came up, now they know me ballin'. Wake up in the morning like, what time is it? She got right now, like tea hat, baby. Get this, on my hot time music. Got my roll, shit me go, this is my time, Jesus. Yeah, I'm talking on that bitch before I leave, ready to eat, and I receive the kick-o. I'm out here every day, gotta take a check, each and everywhere. I grind hard, then I play. Ain't trying to see the kid, this is what they say. He stay standing, he stay blended. Ain't no robbing, cause he 40 black rabbits. Pull rain, got holes off the chain. Pullin' with my partner, then with my fresh gang. I stay strong, I stay strong. I ain't out here for my grind for nothing. Gotta go get it, go get it, go.
I go harder than the motherfucker.
I stay strong. I ain't out here for my grind for nothing. Gotta go get it, go get it, go.
I go harder than the motherfucker. Spit straight venom, G-Cobra, nigga. Rappers, trap, I go harder than the motherfucker. Call me the assassin, man, I ain't no quitter. I'm talking gangsta up the grand slam, home run there. I'm talking a champion like I'm 6'3". I'm talking nice like passes from Cobb to Pittsburgh. I'm talking so sick it'll make you earl. I'm talking so damn sexy, I take your girl. I'm talking real shit, my boy, and don't get it twisted. Talking on the kill shit, got arrested, so I resisted. I'm talking ain't an ounce of Claudia on some bitch. Just step up to the plate, see how hard the king straight bitch shit. I'm talking had that ass in the dirt like a ducker. I'm talking please mistake me for an average fucker. GHTMF for all you suckers. Them kings we go harder than a motherfucker.
I stay strong, I stay strong. I ain't out here for my grind for nothing. Gotta go get it, go get it, go.
I go harder than the motherfucker.
I stay strong. I ain't out here for my grind for nothing. Gotta go get it, go get it, go.
I go harder